for years, like decades here, I've been the weird bodybuilder that would eat the French toast and the popcorns and the fancy recipes. And everyone's like, this doesn't work. And then I was coaching people after people like IFBB pros and so on, and they were eating like me, and it was working.
On that note though, because obviously, a lot of the, I don't know, we'll go with hate because that's the word we're using. You mentioned the cookbook and people going, oh, it's the worst cookbook ever. Why did you start? Because an e-cookbook it's one of those ideas where you're like, well, that's just the simplest idea ever. Why didn't I think of that? But truly, there was a few sort of dotted around the internet, but none that sort of sit on top of the mountain like yours does. I mean, I'm sure you talked about it before and I've just missed it. But yeah, why did you decide, you know what, today is the day. I'm going to take all these cool recipes that I've been mucking around with over the years. I'm going to put them in a cookbook. I'm going to throw it out there.
Well, I honestly was coaching so many people, and I couldn't handle that many clients anymore, and I would keep upping my prices for coaching because I was like, I just can't handle it. And I was talking about my diet and saying you don't need to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. And for years, like decades here, I've been the weird bodybuilder that would eat the French toast and the popcorns and the fancy recipes. And everyone's like, this doesn't work. And then I was coaching people after people like IFBB pros and so on, and they were eating like me, and it was working. And so it started to take off, and it's like, wait a minute. Like, why are we eating this way? That Coach Greg guy, that makes sense. So I wanted to share that to more people. And I was like, I can't just keep coaching more people. That's not going to happen. So with this cookbook, you can put it out on the internet, and people will buy it. And I honestly was going to charge way more money. Like, people were like, oh my God, it was $99. I was like, it has to be at least $199. It has to be, I was thinking maybe 500 to like at least, because I was charging a fair bit of money for coaching plans. I'm like, but if I put out this book, no one's going to hire me because they're going to have all my recipes. That's the whole point of my coaching. Yeah, like the whole point of my coaching was to show people you don't need to eat this way. And if once the book's there, well, they won't hire me for coaching. And I was making a good amount of money coaching. Like, that was my main income earning thing. So I was scared to put out this cookbook because I'm like, well, what if no one hires me for coaching? I won't make any money because my book will be out there. So I kept the price, somewhat reasonable, somewhere between being really cheap and really expensive. So at $100. And when it came out, it was all the mosquitoes. Jerk, how dare you charge that much? And I'm like thinking, but if I didn't, well, I might lose money on this because I'm losing all my coaching. So that's literally how it all came about and why I did it. And I'm glad I did because, now I coach even less and I do even more of these recipes. New ones are coming out. It's the way to do it.
An interesting thing you said there too is like, so is that actually the thing? So obviously you're doing your pro bodybuilding and stuff, and everyone's doing chicken broccoli rice, and you're doing the French toast and the chicken wraps. Were they actually like, oh, it's crazy Greg with his crazy recipes?
100%. Everyone,
amazing.
like, I started in my kind of like in Halifax here, like, and I was coaching, and there was a lot of different coaches, and I was the bodybuilder, and we all coach a certain way. And then some people were hiring me, and they were showing their friends, like, let me see your diet, and I'd be like, well, it's this, and they're like, how can you eat that? And I'd be at the gym, they're like, what are you eating? Broccoli and white fish, and I'm like, pfft. I was like, I'm eating popcorn and peanut butter and jam sandwiches, or well, what? And then I'm winning the show. So being able to win myself and having my clients do so well, that really pushed it. And then other coaches, when they know what happens, they start stealing all your recipes and start copying. And that, of course, happened. And it kept going and got bigger and bigger. And then when I got on YouTube, I'm like, I'm going to just, because I could only coach so many people locally. So that's literally, I got on YouTube to try to get more people to hire me for coaching. I didn't think, oh, there's some book I'm going to make. I went on YouTube and started making videos, kind of like Jeff Nippard, trying to sound smart and doing my thing, talking about the whole thing. And I'm like, no one's watching me. I'm giving out the information. I don't have the science editing and the stuff like these guys. So I'm like, just like, I don't know what to do. And so I gave up. I was like, this is just too hard. And I'm like, screw it. I'm going to put a freaking phone on a can of tuna, and I'm going to talk, and I'm going to rant, and then I'm going to say it the way I think, and I'm going to give a shit about sounding smart. I'm just going to talk out of my head. And that's what people liked. And so over the years, people are like, look how different Greg is. He talks different. He does this. He's not real. I'm like, well, before I did videos and I was trying to be like, well, I have to be like this and like that and talk perfect.
Yeah.
And so I've changed into what I wanted to do from the get-go, but didn't have the courage to do it because I thought, well, people are going to see my videos, and if I don't sound smart, they're going to make fun of me and the whole thing. And I'm like, once I said, I don't give a shit if you like this video or not. I'm just going to say what I think. That's when it took off. So my big advice to people, don't care what people are going to think. say what you want to say. Just don't be a complete asshole. Don't wish, harm on other people. Don't make fun of people's children and stuff like some people have done. But, speak your mind and say what you think and back it up. Don't lie. And that's what I've done. And I think that's the best advice.
Oh, totally. Especially the way you mentioned how you evolved as a YouTuber. Like, I get that all the time. Because if you go back and watch my super early videos, and I'm talking about sort of way, way back when I was just learning about, it wasn't even about fitness. I was terrified. Of course I was. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So you watch other people and you try and copy them. Whereas now, I feel more comfortable in my own skin, or whatever the right word would be. And I get people message me going, "You're so fake now, Simon," with that fake voice. I'm like, no, this is my real voice. The other one was the fake voice because I was trying to put on almost like a TV presenter voice. That's what oh, hello. And I thought that's what you had to do. But now they think, I get it all the time. Your voice is fake. And my voice is fake? Do you know how hard that would be? Every time I did a video, I got to think, right, where was my voice last time I did it? But honestly, every YouTuber I know that has become successful has gone through that. They start off and they're like, got to be like Jeff Nippard, got to be like this guy, got to be like that guy. But then when they just do it more and it becomes more comfortable, then the real person comes out and there's always that guy going, well, he's sold out. It's like, no, this is me now, damn it. It's so frustrating. But look, I don't even, fair play to them, right? If they want to engage with anything like that, good, because YouTube likes engagement. So just kind of keep doing it. But I do think that's fascinating about the diet stuff. Because of course, when I started lifting weights, that's all I did. All I did was chicken, rice, broccoli, ate way too much rice, got way overweight, didn't know what was going on. And it absolutely sucked. And then, when all of a sudden it was twofold. When you do learn that you could have a bit more fun with your diet, like, oh man, this is great. But also when it gets backed up, that's why that was my thing about the cookbook. I thought the cookbook was so good because it was coming from somebody who could literally show off medals and trophies and records and say, well, I ate like this and I got like this. So even if you don't want to believe it or it doesn't work for you, that's cool. But it absolutely can work for you and I thought that was massively important because I still get that now when I say, I lift weights and they're like, oh, do you just don't eat any carbs and just eat chicken all the time? It's like, that's a very stupid diet. If you did that, you're not going to have any muscle. You're going to be the tiniest person ever. But, breaking that stigma down, I always thought is important because it gets more people into the gym. And there is I hate the term, but there is a gatekeeper community around the gym that wants to keep people out. And then there are a select few, but I hate them. I hate them so much. It's like, man, we all came into this place sucking. Every single one of us came in as a weedy kid or whatever it was, not knowing what the hell we were doing. And the fact that you now want to own that space, I can't stand it. It drives me nuts.
Absolutely. Fitness is for everyone. And I wonder if you noticed this. Do you notice how a lot of us, me and you, because I watch a lot of your videos, other people like Derek, we all have similar topics. Do you notice how that comes up with, we all have similar topics, and I've been accused of, I'm stealing other people's ideas and topics a lot. And I'm like, sometimes I see their video and I actually do the same video. Other times I did the video and they did the same one. But I just noticed how almost all the YouTubers tend to go over the same topics. And I have a theory.